beautiful Monday, September 29th, 2025. Explosive confrontations and likely allies, and new romances shake up Los Angeles as the bold and the beautiful returns on Monday, September 29th, 2025. Fans are in for a high-octane episode that picks up the scattered emotional wreckage of last week's cliffhangers and turns the heat up several notches. With relationships imploding, secrets surfacing, and fists flying, this is B&B at its most raw and filtered and chaotic. From Taylor Hayes stepping back into Deacon Sharp's orbit to Electra Forrester unleashing fury on Luna Nozowa, everything is about to change, and not everyone will make it out unscathed. Electra Forrester's breaking point Friday's episode ended with a bang, literally. Electra Forrester, unable to contain her rage, stormed into the Spencer estate with Will Spencer by her side, her eyes locked on Luna Nozowa. Fueled by heartbreak, betrayal, and a sense of vengeance, Electra confronted Luna in what quickly escalated into a ferocious clash. Luna, now pregnant and claiming Will as the father, had crossed a line Electra couldn't forgive. What started as an argument turned physical when Electra landed a clean, sharp punch to Luna's face. The impact wasn't just physical. Luna, now with a visible red mark and a hand protectively cradling her belly, knows exactly how to spin this. She's already weaving a narrative I was attacked while pregnant. I feared for my baby's life, and in the legal climate of Los Angeles and many U.S. statesmen, assault on a pregnant woman can easily equate a misdemeanor to a felony. Electra didn't just lose control, she may have just handed Luna a golden opportunity. Behind the fury, though, is a woman unraveling. Electra didn't just lose a man, she lost her trust, her dignity, and her position. Will Spencer had fallen into Luna's web, and now she's dealing with the fallout, including the very real possibility that the next Spencer heir is already growing inside Luna's womb. Bill Spencer's cold calculation while emotions are boiling on the outside. Bill Spencer is approaching the situation with calculated precision. He and Katie Logan agree on one thing: Luna cannot be released until the paternity test confirms who the father is. Bill doesn't trust Luna, not with Will's future, not with his family's legacy, and certainly not with any child who might carry the Spencer name. Luna's temporary detainment in one of Bill's private, secure locations isn't just for show. It's a power move, a chess play. He wants control of the situation, and he'll use whatever leverage he has to keep Luna compliant until he gets answers. If the child isn't Will's, she walks. If it is, then Luna just became part of the Spencer empire, whether she likes it or not. And that means dealing with Bill on his terms. But Luna has never played by the rules, and she's not about to start now. Luna's web of lies tightens while Luna recovers from the punch and awaits paternity results. She's plotting. She's always been clever, but now she's desperate. Whether or not the baby is truly Will's remains unknown. What is clear is that Luna's future hinges on the narrative she controls. If she can convince the world that Electra is a violent, jealous woman, she buys herself sympathy and perhaps a long-term place within the Spencer dynasty. She's got some allies, some manipulative, some unwitting. Her fragile victim performance is winning over Katie Logan, whose maternal instincts are in full swing. But others, like Carter Walton, are watching her closely, unsure whether she's a victim or a viper. And through it all, Luna knows one thing: timing is everything. If she can keep the world guessing long enough, the baby will speak for itself, and once it's born, there's no going back. Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes for rekindled spark. Meanwhile, away from the Spencer chaos, another storyline is simmering, one that could redefine the emotional balance of Los Angeles. Deacon Sharp, reeling from his split with Sheila Carter, a breakup that shocked even the most jaded B&B viewers, is spiraling. He left Sheila not because of her past, but because of his obsession with the dangerously alluring Luna. That alone should have been enough to end him. But Deacon did something unexpected. He confessed before Sheila could. That act of preemptive truth-telling cost him dearly. Sheila's wrath is legendary, and now Deacon's caught between regret and survival. That's when he does what he hasn't done in years. He reaches out to Taylor Hayes. Taylor, long removed from Deacon's chaos, initially treats the call as nothing more than a professional gesture. A therapist helping a lost soul. But as Monday's episode unfolds, Taylor sees something new in Deacon. Vulnerability, honesty, fear, and maybe, just maybe, something romantic. Years ago, they had a connection, a brief, flickering, and unresolved. Now, older and wiser, both scarred by their own histories, they find themselves in familiar territory with unfamiliar feelings. Taylor's no fool. She knows Deacon is trouble. But sometimes trouble is exactly what the heart needs. Could Deacon be her second chance? Or is this just another path to heartbreak? Hope Logan, torn between two worlds elsewhere in the city. Hope Logan is quietly imploding. Carter Walton, who had been her emotional anchor for months, is beginning to detach. He sees the writing on the wall. Hope is drifting. Liam Spencer, always lurking, always lingering in the background, is waiting for his moment. And that moment is fast approaching. Hope is furious at Carter for pulling away. But deep down, she knows he's right. The gravitational pull between her and Liam has always been inescapable. They've broken each other countless times. Yet, like magnets, they keep finding their way back. Lope, as the fans call them, is always on the brink of revival or collapse. But with Steffi Forrester Finnegan set to return soon, everything could shift. Liam's attentions may waver. Hope may double down. And Carter may realize he let go of something that was never his to begin with. The looming shadow of Sheila Carter, and then there's Sheila. Silent. Watching. Waiting. She's been burned by Deacon's betrayal and humiliated by Luna's rise. But if fans have learned anything over the years, it's that Sheila Carter never stays down for long. Her silence is never peace, it's strategy. And when she returns, it will be with vengeance. How long will it be before she targets Taylor for stealing her man? How long until Luna feels her wrath? The only thing more dangerous than Sheila with a plan is Sheila with nothing left to lose. Monday's forecast emotional carnage. Monday's episode promises to be a turning point in the bold and the beautiful. Here's what to expect. Electra could face charges if Luna presses them. A courtroom battle might be coming, and with it, a war of public opinion. The paternity test results are close, and depending on the outcome, lives will be shattered or legitimized. Taylor and Deacon's renewed connection could spiral into something deeper, or it could ignite Sheila's fury. Hope will be forced to choose to stay with Carter or give in to the never-ending pull of Liam. And lurking in the shadows of Sheila. Unseen, unpredictable, unrelenting. What happens next? Everything hangs in the balance. One false move, one emotional decision, and entire storylines could implode. Will Electra be arrested? Will Luna's baby be revealed as a Spencer heir? Can Deacon and Taylor forge something real, or are they just trauma bonding? Will Carter fight for hope or surrender her to a waiting Liam? And most of all, when will Sheila Carter strike, and who will she take down with her? The bold and the beautiful doesn't believe in slow burns, it believes in explosions. And as Monday's episode makes clear, this fall season is starting with a bang. The bold and the beautiful, Deacon's crossroads, love, loyalty, and the threat of ruin. The drama in the bold and the beautiful isn't just heating up, it's combusting. With a new week of episodes comes a seismic shift in the core dynamics of the show's most unpredictable characters. At the center of the storm stands Deacon Sharp, a man who once danced on the edge of redemption but now finds himself plunged back into dangerous territory, emotionally compromised, morally conflicted, and under public scrutiny like never before. It begins with a visit, a simple, private session meant for clarity. Deacon, reeling from his recent split with Sheila Carter, seeks out Taylor Hayes. Not as a friend, and certainly not as a lover at least, not intentionally but as a therapist. What starts as a request for professional help quickly mutates into something more volatile. Deacon confesses what he's learned about Sheila, the secret she kept buried deep, one involving the one person no one expected Luna Nozawa. Sheila's dark connection to Luna changes everything. Deacon didn't see it coming. No one did. And that's why it shakes him to the core. His decision to break things off with Sheila was already chaotic, fueled by guilt and confusion over his attraction to Luna. But now he understands there was manipulation at every level. Sheila had been playing him from the start, and Luna was her pawn. Maybe still is. Taylor, ever the voice of reason, tries to guide Deacon back to solid ground. But what she doesn't count on is the emotional landmines scattered throughout their sessions. These aren't just therapy appointments, they're collisions between two people with history. They've shared a complicated bond before, one that teetered on the edge of something deeper but was always restrained by duty and circumstance. Now, with the walls down, vulnerability creeps in. Deacon begins to look at Taylor not just as a therapist, but as someone who sees him, understands him, challenges him. Taylor isn't immune either. She tells herself it's just professional, just temporary. But as Deacon begins to open up about Sheila, about Luna, about his fear of being pulled back into darkness, Taylor starts to feel something shift. The boundaries blur. The ethical lines that once guided her begin to smudge. What starts with a hand on his shoulder turns into a lingering look. A moment. A breath held too long. And suddenly, what should be healing becomes dangerously intimate. Outside the room, someone is watching. Brooke Logan. Ever the sentry when it comes to Ridge, she senses something off. She's seen that look in Taylor's eyes before, and she doesn't like it. Brooke knows Deacon. She knows his ability to manipulate, to seduce, to drag women down with him. And she's convinced Taylor is the next in line. Brooke doesn't sit still. She confronts Ridge, alarmed and forceful. She's falling for him, Ridge. And if you don't step in now, she's going to lose everything. Ridge tries to remain level-headed, but even he can't deny the signals, the tension, the signs. And the truth is, the last thing Ridge wants is to see Taylor pulled into another mess because of Deacon Sharp. But it's not just Brooke and Ridge watching the storm gather. Sheila Carter, though temporarily out of Deacon's life, is far from silent. She senses Taylor moving in on her territory, and Sheila doesn't share. Ever. Especially not when it comes to Deacon. With her usual cunning, she decides to play her trump card. She's been saving it for years, evidence buried deep that could destroy Taylor's reputation permanently. Notes, recordings, selective edits from past therapy sessions, all twisted to make Taylor look unhinged, unprofessional, and morally bankrupt. The threat is simple: to back off Deacon or your career, your credibility, and your custody of your own future go up in smoke. Taylor receives the message, anonymous but unmistakable. She recognizes Sheila's game instantly, but now she's caught, torn between her genuine care for Deacon and the fear of being humiliated publicly. She tries to pull away. She cancels sessions. She refuses calls. But Deacon doesn't understand why. He thinks it's his fault, that he crossed a line, that he ruined something pure. He confronts her, but Taylor shuts down. The wall is back, and Deacon doesn't do well with walls. Then comes the climax, the cliffhanger no one sees coming. In a hastily scheduled press conference set to address the growing speculation around Luna's parentage and Sheila's alleged involvement, Deacon finds himself center stage. The room is packed. Reporters buzz with anticipation. Brooke and Ridge stand to one side, having pressured him to speak, to do the right thing and distance himself from Taylor before more damage is done. Taylor, watching from the wings, looks conflicted but composed. And in the back, and seen by most, Sheila stands cloaked in shadows, her smirk barely visible. Deacon walks to the podium. Cameras flash. The room goes silent. He's been briefed. Say the statement, clear your name, denounce Taylor as a misguided therapist acting inappropriately during their sessions. Reaffirm your alliance with Brooke and Ridge. Bury the story before it buries all of them. But then Deacon pauses. The words don't come. He looks out at the crowd, then back at Taylor. Their eyes lock. It's the longest second of his life. And then decision time. Does he sell out Taylor to save his skin? Or does he burn the bridge with Brooke and Ridge for the woman who believed in him when no one else would? The screen cuts to black. No resolution. Just the weight of a choice hanging in the air. The next chapter isn't just about loyalty. It's about survival. It's about identity. And most of all, it's about whether Deacon Sharp is still the man who burns down everything he touches or someone who can finally rewrite his story. Because in the bold and the beautiful, love isn't just messy. It's lethal. And everyone's playing with fire.
Oh.